Where's
Call meeting or call roll, please, Mr. Clerk.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conkin.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
Alderman May.
Present.
Alderman Valco.
Corporation Counsel, Mr. Martin and Clerk Yancey. At this time, I'd like to have Alderman Tempest seated as Mayor Pro Tem. Second. All in favor, by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, none heard, motion carries. Alderman Tempest.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to all stand, please, for invocation by our Reverend.
Father, we thank you again for another city council meeting. We thank you for all things. We thank you for your blessings you bestowed upon us. Bless our mayor and his travel. Bless our mayor pro tem. Bless all of those that you put in authority, that we might lead a quiet and a peaceable life. These blessings we ask in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No mayor comments. I don't think you need any of my comments. I'll do them in Alderman time. We have the audience time at this time. Jane Ferry.
Hi, I'm Jane Ferry, 531 Leith Avenue, and Executive Director of Waukegan Main Street. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. We have two big events this week happening in the Main Street District, and the first one is on Wednesday, December 4th at 5:30 at Greentown Tavern. Greentown won the 2013 Illinois Main Street Business of the Year Award. It is the only business in the state of Illinois to win the award this year, and we're having a ceremony on the 4th at 5:30. We'd love to have as many people there as possible to thank Bob Sobel and his staff for keeping that business alive and putting out new things and new activities and new menu items to really keep it fresh.
Hey,
And
Ms. Jane,
part of
if you
Waukegan.
could for 1 second, please. Motion to seat Alderman Moiseo.
Second. Motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Conkin to seat Alderman Mosey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. I apologize.
No problem. So if everybody can come to Greentown Tavern on Wednesday the 4th, that's this Wednesday at 5:30 to congratulate Bob and his staff for getting, again, being the only business in the state of Illinois to get the 2013 Illinois Main Street Business of the Year Award. The second event is Holiday Walk. Holiday Walk is December 7th, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Holiday Walk has a lot of fun activities for the entire family, for any age group. And I'm just going to give a few samplings of what's going on. Keep in mind, most of the activities are free, so that should encourage some of us to go out and stay out a little bit longer. We're going to have performances by the Glen Flora Elementary School Choir, as well as the Jack Benny Middle School and Abbott Middle School choirs. The Tri-M Choir from the Waukegan High School will also be caroling up and down Genesee Street. We'll have the Salvation Army Band playing outside of the Genesee Theater. Pictures with Santa for your kids and your canines. We'll have pre-Kwanzaa at CLC. We're going to have free cupcakes at the back room gallery, which is by Water Street Gallery. Kinderfest at the Karcher. There's a flyer out on the table for Kinderfest. We'll have pictures also around Jack Benny Plaza, where we'll be having some more making. It's supposed to be very, very cold on Saturday, so please bundle up or gather around the fire and make some s'mores. And stay, please, until story time with our own city clerk, Artis Yancey, reading at 4:15 at the Genesee Theater, and then the mayor flipping the switch on the holiday tree in Jack Benny Plaza at 5 o'clock. And that's just a few of the items that are going on. We have a list that would be probably the full length of this dais up here, so please do come out and enjoy it. Also, if those two things don't tickle your fancy, we'll have business after hours on December 12th at the Karcher Art Space. That's put on by the Waukegan Chamber of Commerce, but Waukegan Main Street is co-sponsoring it this time around. If you have questions or comments about any of the activities that are going on in Main Street, please feel free to check our website, waukeganmainstreet.org, or our Facebook page, facebook.com/Waukegan Main Street, or feel free to call us at 847-623-6650. Thank you for the time.
Where were those cupcakes again, Free?
The Backroom Gallery, 100 South Genesee Street.
What time again? Day?
I think they're going to probably start at noon.
Thank you. You always reach a man through his food, you know. Thank you. Wayne Munn?
My name is Wayne Munn. I reside at 1517 North Jackson Street. And I would ask the mayor what time he's going to show up for the cupcakes to make sure that I'm not too late. 2 weeks ago, I shared some concerns about some events that had taken place beginning on Veterans Day, November 11th at the Genesee Theater. Since that time, I said that I had information and knowledge. I had been on site. I'm a little bit surprised, but I was not contacted by any of the aldermen, nor did anyone at City Hall call me. What I wanted to share, but actually been too busy to do, is some pictures that were taken early of the morning of November 11th when I happened to be up there, showing some of the items that went disappearing. So there's lots of guesswork and rumors going around now. But with these pictures, it would be easy to find these things and see, do they exist? Because we know what was there at about 11:09 a.m. I do have that information. So if we could find some of that stuff, it would be nice. Anyway, I was hoping at that time to share evidence from the place, including high-def video that was shot, a complete survey of the 5th floor, not because I was looking to gather evidence, but because that's just the kind of stuff I do when I'm in a building that I documented originally in 2001 before the renovation. I still hope to be able to share pictures of the valuable resources that were on site on the 5th floor of the Genesee Theater. Some comments have suggested that the information that was presented previously was exaggerated, but also nobody asked me to see what it was that I was talking about. Additionally, if there's any effort to really get to the bottom of this, and you want to involve a citizen who's been in the building a lot and was there 4 days of that week, photographing and shooting video, I would be glad to volunteer my services. I also, a couple days ago, received a verbal report about what was thought to have happened there and the situation. Also the fact that everything that was in the treasure room was taken out of there before it could be inspected, and it was put into, I believe it was called an undisclosed, secure, and alarmed location. I think it would be a good idea to have some people go out there and independently with, if you want people with them, that's fine, seeing what's out there. I expect everything to be out there. And by the way, I did say, I believe in the notes, but I may have forgot it, that to the best of my knowledge, because I'm on the Historic Preservation Commission, nothing of any historic value or merit disappeared. So talk about the organ and various things like that is totally off topic and is just misdirection. I hope we can improve our oversight on the operations and management of the property, and I will be certainly working on my own to uncover any more issues.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Munn. Thank you very much.
All right.
I know the mayor is on top of it from the last meeting that you attended. He did get on that right away the next morning, and he'll be back in town again, and he'll continue looking into it, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you
for
very
your-
much.
Well, thank you for your concerns and all you do as a historical buff, should I say, in the city. You care about our historical significance. I know that.
Thank you, Larry.
That's it, I guess, from audience time. Okay, minutes. We need a motion to approve the minutes of November 18th, 2013. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Conken, to approve the minutes of November 18th, 2013, a regular meeting as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution proclamations. Item A, resolution recognizing the contributions to John D. Slater. Is John D. Slater here in the audience? Is a representative of his here? I think they already forwarded that. So we'll make a motion to approve the resolution recognizing the contributions of John D. Slater Sr. Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Rivera. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And with that, make sure the resolution is placed on file. Resolution recognizing December as National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month, DOT. You want to read that, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir. Resolution. Whereas motor vehicle crashes killed 956 people in Illinois during 2012, and whereas hundreds of those deaths occurred involved a driver impaired by alcohol or drugs, whereas the December holiday season is traditionally one of the most deadly times of the year for impaired driving, whereas for thousands of families across the state and the nation, holidays are a time to remember loved ones lost, and whereas organizations across the state and nation are joined with the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over and other campaigns that foster public awareness and of the dangers of impaired driving and anti-impaired driving law enforcement efforts. Whereas the community of Waukegan is proud to partner with the Illinois Department of Transportation's Division of Traffic Safety and other traffic safety groups in that effort to make our roads and streets safer. Now, therefore, be it hereby resolved that Mayor Wayne Motley and the members of the City Council hereby proclaim December 2013 as Drunk and Drug Driving 3D Prevention Month in Waukegan, and do hereby call upon the citizens, government agencies, business leaders, hospitals, healthcare providers, schools, public and private institutions to promote awareness of the impaired driving program, to support programs and policies that reduce the incident of impaired driving, and to promote safer and healthier behavior regarding the use of alcohol and drugs this December holiday season and throughout the year. Be it further resolved that a suitable embossed copy of this resolution signed by Mayor and the Clerk be placed on file. Dated this second day of December 2013.
Okay, motion by Alderman Beedling, second by Alderman Mosio, to approve the resolution as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Anybody here from IDOT? We'll see that that is sent to IDOT for the city of Waukegan, cooperating with them. Item number C, we need to make an agenda change. We need to, item number C, United Way presentation. Anybody here from United Way? Give your name and address too, would you please? Is that Jennifer? Oh, it's Jennifer. It's Jennifer.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Tempest. I'm Jennifer Yonan. I reside at 1210 East Park Avenue in Green Oaks, Illinois, and I am the Vice President of Marketing and Donor Relations for United Way of Lake County. Thank you very much for having me this evening to talk to you a little bit about the work that United Way is doing here in the community of Waukegan. I had the opportunity 2 years ago, October 17th, 2011, as a matter of fact, to tell you a little bit about the work that we're doing and our programs in Waukegan. And since that time, I'm really proud and pleased to say that we have made great strides and we have results to prove that our work is making a difference in Waukegan. I'm going to be passing out some materials that state some of the results that we've achieved, and we're also going to take a look at that at the end of my presentation. United Way of Lake County's mission is to unite leadership and resources to create lasting change that will improve lives here in Lake County. We work with nonprofit agencies and community partners like the city and the library and the Park District, and we've identified 4 key programs to prepare children to succeed. Our Success by 6 program, which prepares children for kindergarten. Our Reading Success program, where we're helping children to be able to read at grade level. Our Stay in School program, where students will graduate from high school on time, and our Safe and Stable Families program to empower families. Research shows that for every dollar invested in early childhood education, there's a $17 return on investment to the public. And you might be asking yourself, why is this important to me or to me as a city council member? Why does that matter? Because we know that early childhood education increases the chances of success in school, graduation rates, workforce readiness, job productivity, community engagement, and lifetime income. We also know that early childhood education reduces crime rates, teen pregnancy, welfare dependency, job training costs, special education costs, and grade repetition. If these aren't issues that are tied directly to the work that you're doing here as a city council, I really fail to see where you wouldn't be able to connect the dots between early childhood education and growing a stronger community here in Lake County. And that's why United Way is focused on giving our children a solid educational foundation, focusing on preventive programs. This year alone, United Way coordinated 2 extensive Day of Caring projects for employee teams at AbbVie, making over complete extreme makeovers at 2 Waukegan middle schools, at Webster Middle School and Abbott Middle School. Both of those projects went well above and beyond the scope of what was initially intended to be done at those schools because of the enthusiasm shown by community partners like AbbVie, our corporate facilities in this area that have employees that are willing to come out and volunteer to make a difference right here in our hometown. Something else that you might not be aware of yet, but in October of 2013, Waukegan joined the National Network of Campaign for Grade Level Reading Communities. The Campaign for Grade Level Reading is a national movement under the Annie E. Casey Foundation that is formed to increase the number of children from low-income families that are reading proficiently by the end of 3rd grade. Waukegan's campaign goal is by 2020 to eliminate the achievement gap for 3rd grade reading between Waukegan schools and the state of Illinois. Our vision is that Waukegan children will enter school with the skills that they need to succeed, will have fewer unexcused absences, and children from low-income homes will not fall further behind over the summer months. Waukegan's Community Solutions Action Plan incorporates priorities and ideas from a broad range of stakeholders to improve outcomes for grade level reading. Our partners included local businesses, Waukegan's Public School District 60, the administration and staff, district parents, Rosalind Franklin University was involved, the Waukegan Public Library, the Welcome Center, local agencies, faith-based community, and of course, the mayor of Waukegan. Because of United Way's programs, I'm proud to say that more Waukegan children are prepared in kindergarten, reading at grade level, and graduating high school. And families are able to support their children's educational and developmental needs. You've heard a little bit from me, but now let's just take a look at a couple of our friends, Jamie and Jamie, and I'll let you have a quick look at the results that we've achieved so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, we want to thank you for providing this discussion that you had today. Did you want to say any more words, or?
Just wanted to make you all aware of all the work that we're doing.
United Way.
And Waukegan has been a really willing and open partner, so that's a great reason for why.
Well, I want to thank you for giving back. You're a Waukegan gal.
Your Honor, I would like to say a couple of words.
Sam,
In reference
Alderman
to-
Cunningham, go ahead, please.
You know, we spend, I see that there's a lot of agencies out there that spend a lot of time and efforts to help those who have, you know, fallen by the wayside or maybe made some bad decisions in their lives. And I think that's commendable. That is a resource that is needed. But I'm a preventive maintenance type of person. And to see the United Way and other host organizations, your partners, to concentrate on our young men and our young ladies before they make those bad decisions. Those bad decisions are made because sometimes they don't know what good choices are because of the lack of. What is more refreshing to me, and I think our resources need and must go back to those young kindergartners, preschoolers, getting them ready so when they get that middle school, and I think Alderman Moiseo might see this more than others on this council floor, when they get to middle school and they don't have those reading and writing skills where they should be, sometimes they are left behind. The net result of that, they end up in our county jails, at the coroner's office, or just roaming the streets of Waukegan throughout Lake County. So not only do I commend you, and I trust that all of our resources from the city of Waukegan is helping to assist with what you are doing. The most incredible job is focusing on our young men and our young ladies, preparing them to make better choices in our society. So thank you. And you being a Waukegan East girl really helps out too. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Cunningham. Community reports, Judiciary Committee, Alderman Ralph Rivera.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Judiciary Committee came to order at approximately 5:03 this evening. Item A, authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect the front yard variance for 2122 Grand Avenue, zoning calendar 2408. This is in regards to the business George's Gyros on Grand Avenue. This is in Alderman Moiseo's ward.
Yes.
And it makes a lot of sense. What they want to do is remove the patio and expand the building.
Correct.
So I think that's a very good move, and I so move.
We have a motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Moiseo, to authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect the front yard variance for 2122 Grand Avenue, zoning calendar 2408. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect the corner side yard variance for 2122 Grand Avenue, zoning calendar 2409, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Moiseo, to authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect a corner side yard variance at 2122 Grand Avenue, zoning calendar 2409. It's to draft, so therefore, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, I need a motion to amend the motion. Currently, it's to draft an ordinance to reflect the text amendment regarding the nightclubs. But this is going to be to amend the ordinance to
Approved.
approve the ordinance as presented.
So the motion would be by Alderman Rivera
Correct.
to delete the authorization of the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect the text amendment regarding nightclub zoning calendar 2410. So the motion to delete
To amend, right.
Alderman Rivera. No, we're going to go back and put the new motion on. To amend? Oh, to amend, excuse me, to amend, I'll reread this again. Counselor, why don't you authorize proper city officials to amend zoning calendar 2410 to motion to approve the ordinance as presented, which is a text amendment regarding nightclub zoning calendar 2410. Do we have that right? Motion to amend. Okay, we're going to
And I
make,
so move, so.
okay, a motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Mosio to amend that motion. Roll call.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye. Now we have a motion.
Oh, one more.
Alderman May.
Okay, go ahead.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Now we have a motion.
Now we have the motion to approve the ordinance as presented, reflecting a text amendment regarding nightclub zoning calendar 2410. Now, for those that have any questions in regards to this, and a couple of years ago, we had a moratorium on nightclubs, so they can discuss how they can better, enforce the nightclub ordinance. They did a good job, Ann Lynn and the planning and zoning staff, and they came up with 2 more new categories. The first category of a nightclub stays the same, meaning nightclubs with more than 150, capacity of 150 people. That's still the same. Now, the 2 new categories, Category 2 is a restaurant, and Category 3 is a bar. Those are the 2 changes, and what they are allowed to do is allowed to do their event without seeking a conditional use permit, which would go through a lot more, procedure. All they have to do is contact planning and zoning. They would get on the DRB agenda for a review, and that's all they would need to do.
Alderman Rivera, I want to thank you for explaining that. You
Sure.
did it very well. Authorize the proper city officials to approve the ordinance reflecting a text amendment regarding nightclub zoning, calendar 2410. Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Mosio. Okay, want to call the roll, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have some questions in reference to this. And I just want to be clear, Alderman Rivera. Are we now saying restaurants? But let me step back. Currently, restaurants can remove their chairs and their tables and operate as a nightclub. That's what they currently, I don't know if that's what they're doing now. So
Right,
with this amendment, are we now saying that they don't have to go and get a nightclub ordinance?
No, they
Because
don't
if
need-
that's the case, this needs to be held over. This is a major problem within the city of Waukegan.
Let me,
Okay.
Ann Lynn, could you?
Thank you. And
Yeah,
Would you clarify that, please?
Sure, I'd be glad to. You're right, Alderman Cunningham. Right now, we do have restaurants and bars that are operating as nightclubs. They're charging a cover, they're having live music on the weekends without having a conditional use permit, which is technically required under the nightclub ordinance. They are acting as nightclubs, but they don't have a conditional use permit.
Okay.
And this has been going on for some time. So the reason for putting the moratorium on last year and then now coming forward with this new proposed ordinance is to make them legal. And so they would be allowed, establishments with less than 150 capacity as established by the fire department would be allowed to have live music on the weekends, but they would have to apply for a permit through the Development Review Board, though. So it's much more informal than applying for a conditional use permit, which is really a long process and quite expensive. So the larger establishments that are real traditional nightclubs that have DJs and have big events and more than 150 150 capacity would still have to apply for a conditional use permit. And we have a couple of those around town right now. But the smaller restaurants and bars that have been having live music, and it really, you know, in general has been a good thing for the city, at least the planning and zoning staff has felt that it has been a good thing, now will be able to be legal under the nightclub ordinance.
You know, I have a major problem with that. They're not operating as just nightclubs. They are taken away from our traditional banquet halls who have done everything we've asked them to do, and they're pushing that business toward those smaller nightclubs. They're bringing in big bands, having long lines, making cover charges, and they are killing our bigger banquet nightclub groups. Right now, we don't need a big night. A nightclub doesn't even exist anymore in the city of Waukegan if we allow restaurants to start doing this. You're going to kill the business of a nightclub.
We have 2 nightclubs that have conditional use permits in Waukegan right now, and any establishment that wanted to operate as a nightclub, if they have more than 150 capacity, would still have to apply for a conditional use permit. I would also remind the council that there is an existing moratorium right now on applications for nightclubs. It expires December 15th. So if this ordinance is held over, then there will be a time lag there where we do not have a moratorium on nightclub applications. But if there are larger establishments that are operating like nightclubs and having large events with DJs or whatever, and those then are in violation of the nightclub ordinance, and I'd appreciate it if those could be brought to our attention.
And maybe I want to be clear. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying right now, we have, for example, La Hacienda. That's a nightclub in our nightclub ordinance.
No, it is not a licensed nightclub.
Banquet hall, whatever. They're a banquet hall, correct?
You know, I'm not familiar with
they're
what they
hall.
are, and I'm not familiar.
Okay,
They do not
they're
have a
banquet
conditional
hall.
use permit for a nightclub.
All right, they are a banquet hall. They operate as a banquet hall. Now you have this restaurant who has been operating over the last 5, 6, 7 years as a restaurant / banquet / nightclub. Well, right now, they don't even get that business that they used to get because all these small restaurants are doing that. And now we're saying it's legal to do that. So what I'm telling you, the one on Green Bay Road, I can't pronounce the name, Red Iguana, they're a nightclub.
Yes, they are.
That nightclub will be out of business in 6 months when you start opening up more restaurants who can then push their seats back and then have 100, 150.
No, Alderman, that's not the intention at all. For the Category 2 and 3, the smaller establishments, they still operate as whatever they are, a restaurant or a bar. All we're saying is that on the weekends, they can have live music, they can charge a cover, and they can do all these things they've been doing, but it will be legal now if they apply for a permit from the Development Review Board.
And I agree with you, Ann. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm telling you then, those bigger nightclubs, they can't survive. There's not, the marketplace will not support both them acting in the same way. And understand, the Red Iguana, the vast majority of their business come Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now you're going to tell the restaurants, forget about restaurants on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. We have this particular thing going on. You can operate in this. Why would I go and open up a Red Iguana when I can go and open up half it and get the same amount of money?
With respect, Alderman, that is not what the ordinance says.
Alderman Mosio.
Just,
Alderman Mosio.
You're going to kill them.
In my mind, I'm thinking of some establishment that happens all over the country is the little bar under 150. You're really talking about a capacity issue here.
Right.
Exactly.
Have 1, 2, 3-man bands that come in all the time. Those 1, 2, 3, 4-man bands aren't going to a nightclub. They can't fill it anyway. They don't want to fill it. They want a nice, intimate crowd of about 100, whatever the crowd may be. It fits the niche. I don't think
Right.
that's going to kill any large banquet hall for that matter. I think it's a good idea. This is another way for a small local business to have another avenue for people to come to their place. Is that, am I right on the ball?
You're absolutely right. And I was just going to feed off that, Alderman, or Mayor. And I see where you're going with this, Sam, but that type of market, like the Iguana, like, where else? Where's our other?
Sundance and the
Sundance.
Red Iguana are the two that have
Those-
CUPs.
I've seen they get big bands.
Right.
You know, where they're going to attract, 300 to 400 people, compared to, let's go to like Greentown.
Right.
Greentown doesn't want a big band.
Greentown is considered a Category 2, if I'm not mistaken.
They would be a Category 2 restaurant.
That's a
yeah.
Category 2. You're not going to fit. That's for, that venue there is for less than 150 people compared to, the venue out in Fountain Square. You're looking at 400 or 500 people. So they're not going to lose any business at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm here to tell you, I have been by these establishments. What you guys are saying are not there.
yeah.
You have to go. There's not small bands in the market of the city of Waukegan, particularly Latino market, Mexican market.
Yeah.
Those bands are not small. When they bring them in, they bring in those bands that can attract.
Yeah,
a
but those
capacity.
bands that are coming into these, they're not going to go to these small bars, Sam. They're out to make money too as well.
Alderman, I'm here to tell you,
Okay.
they go there.
Yeah.
They will be paid that. You're going to severely hurt the band or the establishment that we took them through the multiple red tapes on. You're about to crush their business by a third. If you don't believe me, ask them.
I don't,
Mayor?
Group,
I don't see how that could happen because
My vote is no. Vote your conscience. Let's move on.
okay,
Thank
Sam,
you.
thank you, Sam. We call the roll, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I make, that's okay. I'd like to make the comment that a lot of what we're proposing to legalize is already happening. There's already bands, live music at several locations around town, in restaurants and bars. It's already happening, but they're kind of don't ask, don't tell behavior. So we're just legalizing what's already happening in the city. It's already happening.
Now, can I ask another question before we go on?
Please.
There used to be a problem with the police running from place to place to place to place. Have we put that in place? From a security standpoint with those smaller restaurants?
Absolutely, Alderman. We generally, though, the larger problems that the police department and the chief could speak to it better than I, but have come from the larger establishments that have DJs. And when we have a DJ at some of these establishments, lots of times they have their own crowd that kind of follows them. That has been something that the police department has
And they all
observed.
have DJs in.
But yes, there will be no change as far as any kind of enforcement, police activity if we do have issues, nothing like that at all. What Alderman May is saying is absolutely correct. The main focus here is to legalize the activity that has already been going on. Those establishments that are the small establishments having a live band on the weekends, charging a cover, they are in technical violation of our existing nightclub ordinance.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you for doing all the hard work.
Sam,
The results will be.
Sam, Alderman Clay, I want to thank you for bringing up some points.
Yeah.
They're valid points. There's points on both sides. Alderman Vera did a lot of work, but
Alderman Conken wanted to-
it's, Alderman Conken, you want to speak?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. Is there any, in this ordinance, are there any regulations like there are for bars about closing times, about capacities, who's monitoring that?
All those requirements already are in existence in other ordinances. Closing times is in the alcoholic beverages, Chapter 3. All those ordinances still exist, and they'll apply to those establishments the same as before. All this does is just legalize, really, for the smaller establishments, the ability to have live music, to charge a cover, and to do the other things on the weekend that technically they could not before because they didn't have a conditional use permit to be a nightclub.
Okay, so a restaurant that serves alcohol would still have to shut down at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Exactly. That's part of Chapter 3, alcoholic beverages, yes. Nothing changes with that.
And if
Alderman
they
Beedling?
don't serve alcohol,
Would
they
be
could,
next.
do they still have to close down at 2 o'clock? or
No.
They could be open all night? I guess that's my question. What are the
Well,
requirements or?
right. if they just serve food like IHOP or something like that, I mean, they can be open, but that would not apply, they would not be able to apply for a nightclub license.
Well,
Yeah,
I
or a
guess-
nightclub permit.
Would there be a problem if it was a BYO place? I mean, they're not selling it, but if I came in with a six-pack at 3 in the morning, would that be legal?
Well, right now, we don't have any BYO places. There are licenses that are available. You know, no, my view is that if there's any alcohol involved, then they have to have closing times under Chapter 3, alcoholic beverages.
Okay, thank you.
Harold, you want to make a comment? Alderman Beedling?
I've been to Greentown and 17 North is karaoke.
Right.
There hasn't been any police problems with any of these establishments, right?
No, none that I'm aware of,
Is this
no.
more about a fee, collecting a fee? Is this a permit? They'll have to get a permit and pay a fee?
The ordinance doesn't provide a fee for the permit. It's just basically a very simple application to the Development Review Board to get permission, and then they'll be in compliance with the ordinance.
I appreciate that, because to me, if you're charging a fee for that, I don't think that would be right.
They're still paying food and beverage tax, sales tax, everything else, and they're paying for their liquor license every year.
Thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it.
Call for the question.
I got a question.
We have one more
And
question.
how far in advance do they have to come to the Development Review Board in order to get this approval? And when it's, or if it's approved, how long does it last?
It's an annual permit, so
Per
it's
year.
not a case-by-case special event permission at all. It's an annual permit. It'll be just like the conditional use permit, except it'll be much more informal. So we didn't establish like a time frame. Obviously, the ones that are doing it already, we will be contacting them and saying, you know, if the ordinance passes, it's time to come in and, you know, let us know what's going on, and so we can help you out and get you legal.
Okay, I
So
think
in
it's
other
time-
words, Ann,
Oh, boy.
excuse me, just one more, last one. So if they come in for the permit, you know, like next month, January 10th,
Oh,
they don't have to give a date when exactly they're going to give this event. As long as they have the permit for the year. They
Then
can do it any time.
That's right. They can
All right.
have live music on the weekends.
All right.
Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's correct, and that's the existing nightclub ordinance.
Okay, I'm going to read the motion again. I think everybody might. Is number 3, authorize the proper city officials to approve the ordinance reflecting a text amendment regarding nightclubs, zoning calendar 2410. And Alderman Cunningham, thank you for withdrawing your holdover. Will you call the roll, please?
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
No.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Carries, Mayor.
Ordinance passed.
Very well. Item D, authorize the proper city officials to enter into a cable television franchise agreement by and between the city of Waukegan and Comcast of Illinois, X11 LP. And this is, and I so move, this is a 10-year agreement, and in 2006, we've had this agreement, you know, with Comcast, and it's been extended until, you know, now just recently, we wanted to put it into an agreement form.
They have been paying and
Oh,
not
yeah.
behind.
And,
So the
thanks.
motion, authorize the proper city officials to
Yeah.
enter into a cable television franchise agreement by and between the city of Waukegan and Comcast of Illinois, X11-LP, and that's a motion by
And,
Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Mosio.
Mayor, and I also wanted to add this, yeah, as a follow-up too as well. Tina provided me this information as a follow-up to the question I had regarding the franchise fees. The city budgeted $700,000 for the current fiscal year based on the existing 2006 Comcast cable franchise agreement extension, which includes a 5% tax. Since then, we have collected $356,856.06 to date. So should be able to meet. We should be able to meet the budget target barring any change to the tax amount. So,
Okay,
so
with
that's
that-
bringing in some good revenue.
Go ahead.
I'd like to point out, like I did in the Judiciary Committee there, there's a long, a pole was taken out at Franklin and County, I think around June or July, and that cable still hanging there with the piece of the old pole fastened to it. ComEd, I talked to the crew there, and they said when something like that happens, they notify the other utilities to come out and reconnect to the new pole. It's still hanging there, and I've tied up countless wires around the ward, both AT&T, some Comcast. They're hanging off the poles. I have to tie them around the pole so it's not a public hazard. I think they need to step it up and do a little performance here, and as far as maintenance is concerned.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want
And
to call
also,
the roll,
Mayor,
please?
I-
Let's call the roll.
Mayor, I've also asked Dave
We're going to call
to
the roll.
to look, yeah, I know, to look into his situation.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yes.
engineering.
Brings up
so.
a great point. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Carries, Mayor.
I'm glad we got the agreement because we really did not have it written up like it should have been, but they were paying. Public Safety Committee, Chairman Conken.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Safety Committee met tonight at 6:15. We had 4 items to discuss. Item A was tabled in committee. So move to item B. Make a motion to authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect handicap parking only in front of the residence commonly known as 2521 North Elmwood Avenue. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman, who's your co-chairman?
Alderman Beedling.
Alderman Beedling, to authorize the proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect handicap parking only in front of residents commonly known as 2521 North Elmwood Avenue. That's to draft, so roll call, no roll call. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion opposed, motion carries. Item C.
Item C, I move to authorize proper city officials to draft an ordinance to reflect the replacement of 2-way stop signs at eastbound Tucker Lane at West Avenue and westbound Pleasant Hill Gate at West Avenue, thereby converting the intersection from a 2-way stop intersection to a 4-way stop intersection. I so move.
Okay, motion by Alderman Conken, second by...
Second. It's in my ward.
Seconded that.
It's in my
By Alderman
ward.
Rivera, to authorize the proper city official to draft an ordinance to reflect the placement of 2-way stop signs at eastbound Tucker Lane at West Avenue and westbound Pleasant Hill Gates at West Avenue, thereby converting the intersection from a 2-way stop intersection to a 4-way stop intersection. It's a draft, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You know, going back to item A, we probably should make a motion. You didn't bring that up, did you? You didn't make a
I
motion?
mentioned it was tabled in committee.
Oh, you tabled committee, okay. Item number...
Item D,
D.
I move to authorize proper city officials to enter into an intergovernmental agreement / memorandum of understanding regarding ambulance service user fees with various fire departments in Lake County, and for a resolution authorizing the fire chief to sign the intergovernmental agreement on behalf of the city of Waukegan. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Rivera. Yeah, various fire. Did he say? You said Lake County? I'll reread it. Authorize the proper city officials to enter in a government agreement, memorandum of understanding regarding ambulance service, user fees with various fire departments, and for a resolution authorizing the fire chief to sign the intergovernmental agreement on behalf of the city of Waukegan. And what this is basically doing, if Gurney hauls one of our patients to the hospital, they're allowed to send our patient a bill. If we happen to take one of their persons, or Zion or somebody, to the hospital, we're allowed to send that patient our ambulance bills. So that's what it's really for. So we probably should call the roll on that.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Timpass.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Finance Committee, Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, sir, Mayor Pro Tem. Finance Committee met this evening, 5:30. Item A, to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 3-year agreement with SEBIS, SEBIS Direct Incorporated, an amount not to exceed $45,000 for the purposes of water bill printing, mailing, and emailing, but excluding postage or additional ad hoc inserts. Comes from Budget Code 555-9159244434, and I so move. And I would like to have Kevin from the accounting department come and speak on item A and B. Is there any questions?
Well,
Oh,
do
you go
you
ahead.
want him to speak before we vote on it?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Okay. Basically, we're exchanging a printing company. Currently, we have been using Term Millennium and Associates for about 10 years to print the water bills. What these will do is change that to SEBIS Direct, and in addition to the printing, mailing, and inserting, they will also be doing the emailing of the water bills. So residents will have the option to go onto the website and sign up for a e-bill that they would get on an email, or they could download from the website. Are there any questions about that?
This is making the billing more efficient for our residents in the city of Waukegan, and I so move.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman May, to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 3-year agreement with SEBIS Direct Incorporated in amount not to exceed $45,000 for the purpose of water bill printing, mailing, and emailing, but excluding postage or additional ad hoc inserts. Budget code 555-9159244434. You want to call the roll, please?
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Timpass.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Item B.
Item B, authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 3-year agreement with the Third Millennium Associates in the amount not to exceed $54,000 for the purposes of vehicle licensing and animal tag software and fulfillment, but excluding postage. Budget code 100-103624434, and I so move.
You want to speak to that?
Sure. So basically, this is, we've been using the same thing with Term Millennium to do the initial mailing of vehicle licenses and animal tags. Currently, residents only have the option to renew their stickers by coming to City Hall, mailing the application to City Hall, or going to a currency exchange and paying a $5 convenience fee. With these options, residents will now be able to go to the city website, enter their information, and then Term Millennium would receive that information, and they will fulfill that request, which means that they would mail the sticker directly to the residents, which will free up time for the staff downstairs. And in addition to that, instead of mailing it to City Hall, they would be mailing that application to a lockbox, where Term Millennium will receive it, enter that information into our system, and also fulfill that application.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you, Kevin.
the motion again, authorize the proper, motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman May, to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 3-way agreement with Third Millennium Associates in amount not to exceed $54,000 for the purpose of vehicle licensing and animal tag software and fulfillment, but excluding postage. Budget code 100-1036244434. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Item C is to approve the Community Development Block Grant Funding allocations for the year 2014 as presented. And I so move.
A motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman May, to approve the Community Development Block Grant funding associated for 2014 as presented. I want to call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Your Honor, I had a real quick question.
The motion carried. Go ahead.
Okay, go back to, before I forgot. With that new water billing thing, are we ever going to be able to move to a monthly, I know a monthly
Oh, yeah.
bill? I know part of it has to do with reading. Tina, it's probably more for you. I've talked to Tom about that, and he said it's more of a having to be able to read it. But does this software maybe get us moving towards a monthly billing process for
I'd like
water
to see
bills?
that.
This software that you approved tonight is only to print
Okay.
and mail the bills. The
Okay.
software that we use that actually calculates the water billing is part of our enterprise resource
Okay.
program, our ERP, that's Kayenta. It's the same thing as
All
our
right.
budget and payroll. The reads, commercial, we bill monthly.
Right.
It's the residentials that we do quarterly. There's still, Tom's staff still has to do the reads.
It's a problem,
And there's a
yeah.
lot of older meters
Right.
out there that have to be manual. We could estimate reads, so we would, like ComEd does sometimes, where
Yeah.
they will estimate your bill until they can get a real read. The issue with that is a manual process
Right.
for us to estimate. The estimates are based on prior usage, and when we get the real read, the adjustments can be significant.
Too much.
Up or down, and residents don't tend
It's
to
too
like
much,
that
there's too much fluctuation, and it's a manpower issue. I just was, I'm
We
hoping.
would like to get there. It'd be
Right.
better for cash flow. It'd be better for the residents. They could
It's better
budget
for everybody, but it's a-
But the postage would probably triple, and I think we did, what, 40,000 in postage for water bills last year. So our postage costs would go up significantly.
Okay.
But it is something that we look at every budget
Right.
season to see if we can replace the meters, which would then lead to
Right.
billing more often.
Okay, I've talked to Tom, and that's exactly, I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Mayor.
A compromise might be every 2 months.
True.
Read the meters. Okay, Insurance Committee. Alderman Sam Cunningham, please.
Insurance Committee had one item, and that item is authorize the proper city official to renew the monumental life insurance and express script program for an estimated amount of $88,000 for the January 1 through December 31st, 2014 calendar year. And I so move.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Beedling, to authorize the proper city officials to renew the Monumental Life Insurance and Express Scripts program for an estimated amount of $88,000 for the January 1st to December 31st, 2000 plan year. And would you call the roll, please?
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Carries, Mayor.
Thank you. Motion carries. Old business, none. Reports and communications, none. New business, recommended actions by Corporation Council. Approve a payroll dated November 27, 2013, the amount of $1,334,899.65. We have a motion by... Huh? By Newsom, second by May. That's payroll, it's money. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Carries, Mayor.
Item B. Approve the special payroll dated November 27, 2013 PBLC holiday buyback in the amount of $4,584.78. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman May. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Passes.
Approval of bills dated December 2nd, 2013, in the amount of $604,097.91. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman May. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Passes.
Motion
Mayor.
passed. Ordinance and resolutions, there are none on file. Alderman's time. We start with, You're going to take care of that.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to thank the Public Works Department, Tom Haggerty, Pat Needham, and the rest of the crew for the beautiful job they did out west and collecting all the leaves and all the roughage, and they did a great job, and I really appreciate that very much. I also like to thank the fire department. A couple weeks ago, I took my grandson over to the fire department, and I wanted to thank the nice tour that they gave us, and some tremendous guys you have there, Chief. So I appreciate that very much. You got a really big kick out of it. And, he knows a lot about the fire department, that's for sure. All righty, thanks a lot.
Alderman Cunningham.
Two things. One, obviously, I hope everybody's Thanksgiving was filled with family, friends, and happiness. A lot of times we give a lot of credit to our first responders, and credit is definitely due to them. But there's a group, a part of, in my opinion, part of the first responders that sometimes is overlooked or just not often thought about. And to Chief, both Chief, our fire department, and our police department, and now they're working kind of double time when other departments are not there. A lot of our phone calls go directly to that 911 center. If you have not seen their operations or given them a call sometime, stop in there. That is one heck of a group. And as much as we praise our first responders, from the firemen to policemen, please know that the calls go into the 911 center first, then get dispatched out to the prospective groups. So I want to give a bravo to that group who I try to call just about every Thanksgiving, just wish all of them, because they're working along with the others. But sometimes we forget about the person who we call, who handles the most important information that's given from our residents and from others. So to both chiefs, if you do not, I'm pretty sure you do, please give a bravo to that entire group. First, I don't know how many shifts you have now, but I just thought I wanted to say that. Second, I had the opportunity, the distinct pleasure of being present to give the resolution to Mr. J.D. Slater Sr. Did not realize the history that this man had that lived in our community for 94 years? City Clerk Yancey. I was present, my mom was present, City Clerk Yancey was present, Congressman Snyder was present, State Representative Rita Mayfield was present, Audrey Nixon, Commissioner, Beverly Young, North Shore Sanitary District, and a host of family and friends. He is well known for the Slater's Barbecue, but what he's not known for his time served in, was it the U.S. Army? And something else was pretty surprising to me, and I bring this up because so often we hear of young men, particularly African Americans, and when they're in the news, it's always the bad part about young African American boys. But I wish a lot of them could have been able to sit there and witness this man and the life that he led so he can receive the praises that was given to him at that time. Mr. Slater's still looking very, very young and vibrant. He's in a wheelchair now, but he was very attentive and understood exactly what was going on, and I think that's a blessing being at age 94 years of age, you know? I just hope all of us who are not there yet get there.
Thank you.
But it's a testament of the kind of man that he was and the kind of person he wanted not only himself but his family to be. So I sing the praises for him. He does live in the First Ward. I never know his name was John. It was always Mr. Slater to me. Will continue to be that. But if you ever get an opportunity to see him or his family member, please just let him know we appreciate him for being a part of our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Conken.
Thank you. Just real quick, it's December. Christmas season is upon us. Recognize that there's going to be a lot of people out shopping, a lot of people out traveling, and to make sure that everybody just gives yourself a little more time to get to where you're going because of that, to make sure that you get there safe and sound so everybody can have a fantastic Christmas season and be safe. Just keep it in mind. Thank you. That's all I have.
Alderman
I
Moiseo.
have a couple things. First, I'd like, with regrets, announce the passing of Bill Pierce. I think most of us know the Pierce family, long-time Waukegan residents. When he passed, I went to the funeral. And obviously quite touching. I think he had, 8 kids or something of that sort. And he was just a wonderful man. I got to know him later in his life. He was a Third Ward resident, but I got to know him because he used to sit in the locker room and monitor the locker room at West Campus. And it was important to me because when someone like that, they give you a lot of life stories. He grew up, obviously, in the 30s and the 40s and tells you how tough it was growing up in those times and working and raising a family of 8 and things like that. And I think that's important for, it was important for me to have a connection to someone like that, so I wanted to announce that. Public Works is not done picking up leaves. They're still going around picking up leaves, the ones that are still out there. Obviously, they got set back a little bit with the snow. A couple of the leaf machines have had some maintenance problems, but they're not done picking up leaves, so they will get to them. I talked to Mr. Haggerty today. Second of all, you will start to see the large recycling bins. They are starting with, if your garbage gets picked up on Monday, they're starting Monday. And then down in the Tuesday pickup and the Wednesday, so you will start to see them. It will probably take a couple of weeks, obviously, for those to get to the residents. Also, those blue bins, they're yours to keep. Do with them what you want, duct tape and all. You can do with them what you want. They're yours to keep.
Can you recycle?
You probably got plastic, Coach, so you probably can. But I mean, they make a lot, they're very useful for a lot of things other than recycling. That's probably their least best use is recycling. But for anything else, they're okay. And last but not least for sure is this theater. I think you know one of the residents that is hot on this is my mother, so to say I've gotten worn out about it is an understatement. But I look at it this way. It's more of a systems problem than anything else. The city has, we always have hired a management company. Now, the new Friends board is more in charge. But in the past, we hired an SMG management company to run things, and the Friends were supposed to be the fundraising arm of it and all that. We, though, as the city, at least the city administration and the 9 of us up here, we never had anyone that we hired for that to be their responsibility. No, it was no one's responsibility on the city payroll to make sure what was going on down there. That's probably our fault. In fact, it is our fault not to have someone on the city payroll down there checking, making sure that the interests of the city, which is the taxpayers, is taken care of. And we've probably failed in that matter. How we go forward, I don't know. I know in the past, one of the reasons we didn't have anybody on the payroll, we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. We could barely afford keeping it open until the new Friends board has come along and sort of helped with that. there was at a point in time, at least in my mind, of thinking about closing it down, because when we were thinking of laying off all these city workers, and the ones we did let go, and keeping a theater open that maybe only 20 or 25% of the residents use, to me, that was going to be a hard sell to the residents in my ward. We're going to keep a theater open, but we're going to lay off people that police and fire and public works and things like that. That was going to be a hard sell. Thank God we didn't have to do that, and things have straightened out. But to get back to it, it's a systems problem. To me, it's not anybody's problem on the city payroll now, because it was never anybody on the city's payroll's job to be responsible for the theater. It was nobody's job description that I know of. And when you don't have a system that allows for that to be somebody's responsibility, you get what sort of happens now. No one really knows, things are all over, it becomes embarrassing, and we have to fix it. So we probably somehow need to get something like that into place. Now, that person doesn't have to be on the payroll 24/7, but maybe it's somebody that's on it hourly, that can make sure that the taxpayers, because that's who owns that theater, to make sure like something like this doesn't happen again. So I want to get that out there, that to me it's a systems problem. We had a bad system in place. We didn't have anybody on the city payroll that was responsible for it. Ultimately, the 9 of us are responsible for it because we didn't see it coming. So we need to discuss that further and somehow maybe get that straightened out. So, because what happens if this Friends board, if they all leave, or they don't succeed, and another group comes in? The same thing could happen again if we don't have someone down there checking into it and making sure that the cities and the taxpayers' interests are taken care of. Thank you.
Alderman Beedling.
I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Ezell Robbins. He's our CDBG director. I've had a number of occasions over the last 3 years to speak to Mr. Robbins, and very knowledgeable man. And I can tend to fly off at times, and he moderates me, and I appreciate that. I've learned an awful lot through my conversations with Mr. Robbins, and he toils in anonymity up on the 3rd floor there, and I just wanted to say thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Number 2. There's a number of people in this community that, and I'm disappointed to see that a couple of schools, private schools, signed on with this regarding our power plant in the lakefront. I've spent countless hours reading on this issue, wind turbines specifically. You know, I shut it down. They shut down 2 in Chicago. They want to shut down more of them in Illinois. What are you going to do in that hot summer day when you got your air conditioner pumping? Where does the electricity come from? Wind turbines, very intermittent supply. When the wind doesn't blow, where's the juice going to come from? You know what? Do yourself a favor. Type in your search engine on your computer, abandoned wind turbines. Read some of those articles. The state of California right now has over 12,000 abandoned wind turbines. You know what happens? The government created this business, wind production tax credit. They give them grants for construction costs. They pretty much pay off their investment, from what I read, for the first 8 years. These things, most of them don't last more than 20. And they collect their cash for the next 12. Well, they diminish in their capacity up to a third after 10 years, from what I read. And after they've reached the end of their useful life, they walk away. Guess whose responsibility is to take these ugly eyesores down? Look at some of the pictures on the internet. You know what? Our economy's struggling in this country. I wish the government would back off for a while. Let's make some money. Let's put some people back to work. You know, if you want to spend your time in a little community activism, let's look at our children in our schools. Let's pay attention what's going on there. I think that would be a better use of your time. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to announce that the Staben House and the Eddie Washington Center, formerly known as the Staben Center, which are transitional housing facilities for the homeless, presents a home for the holidays. They are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Eddie Washington Center. And it's a fundraiser dinner. It's going to be Friday, December 6th at the Ramada Inn. The reception starts at 6 p.m. Dinner starts at 7. For tickets, they can be purchased at the Township Supervisor's Office. That number is 847-244-4900. Or if you want to do a sponsorship, that's available by contacting Letty Castellanos at 847-244-9944. And I think this is a worthwhile cause. They're helping many in our community with a lot of the funding cuts. They have to step up and do a lot of fundraising, and this is one of their big fundraisers for the year. So December, Christmas time is the time for giving, and it would be great if you could give in this way. Thank you.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I'm going to add on a little bit to Greg mentioned was talking about leaves and the garbage contract. And I want to direct everyone to the city website where there is a special, you'll see at the top of the announcements, where it really goes through some of the specifics on the garbage contract in more detail. Like Alderman Moiseo mentioned, the 65-gallon wheeled bins will be delivered to everyone's home. I want to mention some new things that are happening with the new contract, which started December 1st, maybe some of the less popular things. Yard waste is a big issue in this city, and yard waste is undergoing a big change in the new contract. So right now you put out your yard waste in a can or a bag, and the city comes and picks it up. Next season, which is the yard waste season, is March 15th through December 15th. There will be a fee for yard waste pickup. You're going to have two choices. You can do a subscription, and for $125 for that 6-month period, you can put up to 10 bags or 10 cans per week, and they'll take them. It's $120 or $125 for the whole season. Or you're going to have to buy the stickers. It's $2.25 per sticker for each bag or can. The stickers will be available either through Advance, and then we'll have a list as soon as it's available on the city website for next season that starts in March, where you can go to purchase the stickers, probably places like Ace, Home Depot, local businesses. So just to prepare everyone, next season, your yard waste containers are going to be a whole different ballgame. There is going to be fees attached to this. The curbside leaf pickup with the vacuum trucks, that will still be offered as a part of your garbage service. There will be no extra fee. So we're very blessed in this community to have that service with the vacuum trucks. Many communities don't offer it at all. I know in the 7th Ward, where we have a lot of mature trees, we're very happy to know that we're still going to have the vacuuming of the leaves. Electronics, when you're reading on the city website the information piece, it does address electronics, but that does not mean Advance is going to pick up your electronics. They're not. Your electronics need to be brought to city yards. You must physically bring your electronics to city yards. You cannot put your TVs on the curb. You can't do it now. You can't do it in the future. So just want to remind you of that. And for those of you, this is the final week, so by the time this airs, the vacuum program should be over. But you have one more week. You have until December 15th to put your yard containers out, the waste, the bags, and the cans. So you have until December 15th. There's no charge this season, so there's a little confusion. December 1st, the contract started. Your cans and your bags can still be put out until December 15th with no extra charge. And once again, refer to the city website or call your alderman or call Public Works with any questions regarding the garbage contract. Secondly, I just want to, I guess, Greg, I'm just going to mirror you. I want to talk about the theater as well. I do want to thank Wayne Munn for his dedication and his commitment to historic preservation throughout the city. in many different projects, but most recently with the Genesee Theater. You know, for all the years the Genesee's been open, there's been areas in the Genesee that have been collecting and collecting and collecting items. I did tour the theater the day after the council meeting where this was brought up to us, and something had to be done. The new management of the theater is very interested in cutting down on the subsidy that they have to pay to keep that theater running. When we were lucky enough to engage with the new corporate partner, prior to that, the city of Waukegan, the citizens were paying through their tax dollars more than $300,000 a year to subsidize the theater. So we were lucky enough to partner with a corporate partner who is now involved with the Friends of the Genesee Board, and they're about efficiency, but they're also about cutting down that number since they're writing the check for the management and operation of the theater. So the purpose behind the clearing of these rooms was to make a more professional presentation for banquets and weddings so that we can actually stage and up our game in that area of the theater. Events are big money, but we have space that cannot be utilized for anything because there's many wonderful artifacts that were saved. The organ has been saved, the blueprints have been saved. Did some things inadvertently get thrown away? Unfortunately, yes. You hear about carpeting got thrown away. There was not enough carpeting to carpet an entire room. There was not a single piece of carpeting could have done an entire room. And to patch that very intricate carpet that was designed would be impossible because it's faded in the lounges, and this is brand new. So it wasn't like rolls and rolls of carpeting were thrown away. Yes, there was carpeting thrown away. Yes, unfortunately, there were some prototype chairs that were thrown away. They are replaceable. I'm not making light of the fact that we lost some treasures, but the chairs were not antiques. You can call the manufacturer, and our corporate partner would do so if we needed to replace any of the seats. So I feel bad that this went down the way it did. I wish that maybe if there were very certain items that they were concerned about, that they would have been brought to our attention before this. People were in the building knowing it was going to happen. I wish they would have marked them or talked to some of us and let us know what was important to them. But I really do believe that most of the important artifacts, the organ, the moldings, that stuff has been saved and is in a secure holding place right now. We need to think about the future of the theater, folks. We spent millions of dollars restoring this, doing this historical replication, and now we're stuck with maintaining it. And, it's like you win a house in the sweepstakes, but you can't afford to pay the taxes or the upkeep on it. So what good, this beautiful, I'm not taking away, it's beautiful, historic-looking theater has been restored to the nth degree, but now we're strapped with maintaining it. And we need to think about some of these decisions that are going to be made from here in the future. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. It's about sustainability. We don't know that we have a never-ending stream of money that's going to come into the theater, so we really need to consider these things as we move forward. When we make improvements to the theater, or we're upkeeping the theater, we have to think about sustainability. So I just want to put that out there. Once again, I thank Mr. Munn very much for his work and dedication to historic preservation in the city. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Tempest.
Thank you. A few thoughts. SWACO, recycling. As I drive around my ward, I'm really concerned amount of non-recycling taking place. And we're paying our garbage contract to pick up recyclable materials each time. You look at the garbage cans that are overflowing and you take a look, you can see the aluminum cans, you can see a lot of recyclable material that should be in a recyclable bin. Somehow, now we're getting a cart, which is nice. It should, but I don't know if it's going to, now we're spending all this money for the carts to give everybody a cart, and they're not even putting a little stuff in a little bin. somehow we're going to have to tag their garbage can and say, too many recyclables included in your garbage. I hate to become a Gestapo, but if we're getting paid for part of our recycles, it's to be, and we're paying for a cart, and we're paying for the recycles to be picked up. Tell me what's wrong with this. I'm a little confused. I mean, we're going to somehow have to educate the public as educators to recycle for our benefit and for their benefit, for the landfill benefit, for the future, you know. So I see, and then I look at SWACO, and I'm not a big fan of those guys. It's a monopoly. How are they trying to help us? Have they given us any brochures? Have they put anything out yet to tell people how to recycle or what needs to be recycled educationally? I know we sent Ray Vukovich around Buckley Hills once, seeing who recycled and who did not recycle, and little notes on their door telling them to recycle. We need to get SWACO more involved with something to help. And then the other question I was going to ask, SWACO came to us, all this money we're going to get with our recycles. Have we received any money from SWACO yet?
I don't know if they'll have that. I don't know.
We got to get on that, okay?
I don't know.
Okay, that's, then the next item, Lisa, Alderman May spoke on it, but TVs. TVs, you know, as I drive my ward every day by request, and I see TVs put out, and someone's beating them, and they're knocking them out and taking the copper out, and it sits there. The homeowner is going to have to start making arrangements to take those out or see that somebody takes them out there. I don't think we should call Public Works, come get the TV and take it out there. I mean, we didn't need SWACO then, did we? You know, we need to get them in the bin out of Public Works. And so if you have a neighbor out there and you see them putting their TV, you need to tell them, hey, it's going to sit on the curb. I live next door to you. You put it in your trunk and take it out to Macri Road, Public Works. There's a dumpster there where you can load them in there. And we need to push on that idea a little more, because I don't think we're doing a good enough job there. And Lisa, I want to thank you for the report you gave on the Genesee Theater. Very, very knowledgeable, and it needed to be said, and you did a good job presenting all the facts on that. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Alderman Mosio and Alderman Conkin. All those in favor, say aye. Thank you.